This is Scott Becker with the Becker Private Equity and the Becker Business Podcast. Today, the most interesting story that we're following in the United States, at least from my perspective, is the election of Zoran Mamdani to the mayor as mayor of New York City. Now, I won't get into all the discussions of so many different issues that surround Mamdani. The most fascinating thing I do think, or one of the most fascinating things I see about his election is we're going to be in a spot where all the largest cities in the United States end up with very progressive mayors. We have Brandon Johnson in Chicago. We've got the leader in Los Angeles. You now have Mamdani in New York. And all of these cities have been, for a long time, Democratic strongholds. But as part of the electorate moves further left, you're electing further and further left-wing mayors that in some areas of the country are very close to the teachers' unions and some other areas. And that's not a knock on it. It's just an analysis of what's going on. Now, one of the challenges why this becomes somewhat of a permanent thing, it's become more permanent in Chicago, more permanent in L.A., and I don't think there's been a Republican mayor in New York since Rudy Giuliani a long time ago, is you end up in a situation where the more that those mayors attack those that are sort of on the right or centrist, that don't agree with the far left progressive politics, the more that those people move out of the city or move out of the state, and you end up with even more of an enclave or a city moves further towards a progressive side. It's almost why in the country we're in a spot where you have very clear red states, very clear blue states, and then you have 7 to 10 states that people consider purple that can go either way in an election. And purple, not like the fashion color purple, but purple being the mix between a red and blue, that means the state can go either way in an election. You've moved to a spot now where so many people that would be on the other side of a person like Mamdani or Brandon Johnson, or I think it's Karen Best in Los Angeles, have moved out of those cities. And so the cities are really stacked to elect one type of politician versus another. And then it's that politician's job not to chase away the businesses in that city and the capitalists in that city that actually pay a lot of the taxes in that city. I saw a stat yesterday. I think 10% of New Yorkers pay 70 or 80% of the taxes in New York. I'm not surprised by that. And the other side of that, people could say, well, those people are the wealthier people and should pay the taxes. I don't disagree with that. The reality is, though, is if you chase those people away, it further puts these states in a difficult budget balance situation. In any event, a vesting situation, it becomes sort of cyclical or virtual or vicious circle, however you want to look at it. As you elect people that are more one way or the other, it chases those out that are more on the other side. And then the state gets further and further, or the city gets further and further to share those politics. And a fascinating thing to watch. Thank you for listening to the Becker Business, the Becker Private Equity Podcast. We're not particularly a fan of Mamdani. We're more observing what we see going on, and we find it quite interesting, the whole thing. Thank you for listening to the Becker Private Equity, the Becker Business Podcast.